Hey y'all, so back out hunting mushrooms again today, and I feel like today may be a decent day for it. I found some oysters right as I stepped into the woods, so that was promising. And but actually what I think and I'm hoping that I find today is lion's mane. I wouldn't mind having some to cook, and I just have a feeling that they're going to be out, and I love finding them. But I actually want to find some to give to a friend that just gave me a bunch of persimmons. Two friends, a couple. They have persimmon trees, and every year they give me some, and they're beautiful and they're really good, and I share them with my friends. So yeah, it'd be cool if I could get them some lion's manes. They love mushrooms as much or more than I do. When I started foraging mushrooms around 5 years ago, I did it purely for fun, kind of like a treasure hunt. But I also felt like growing or foraging my own mushrooms, my own food, would help me achieve a couple of my bigger goals in life. One, I want to break away from industrial food, and I also want to make the culture around me a little less materialistic if I can. And we need material things. We need food, water, and shelter, but these things don't have to contribute to a materialistic culture. So the exchange that is happening in this video and this story is just a small example. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. My friends grow more persimmons than they can eat, so they share with me. And I find more mushrooms than I can eat oftentimes, and so I share mushrooms with them. Now, I'm all about barter and trade. I think they're great things. I think they build good relationships. I think they build community. But this is neither one of those things. You see, my friends are not giving me persimmons with the expectation of wild mushrooms in exchange. And likewise, I'm not giving them wild mushrooms thinking that they're going to give me beautiful persimmons in return for that favor. When you grow your own food, a lot of the time you're going to have an excess of whatever fruit or vegetable you're growing. And the same thing with foraging wild mushrooms. When you have a good day, you can often harvest an overabundance of mushrooms. And with the fruit, the vegetables, or the wild mushrooms, you have to find something to do with those if you're not able to use them up yourself before they go bad. And sharing is really one of the easiest and best ways to do that. Now, if growing food or farming is your livelihood, that is not what I'm talking about here. Farmers are my absolute greatest heroes. I think they're doing something very important. So if that's you, yes, absolutely, I want you to sell your food and make a living from that and keep doing it. But what I'm talking about here is if somebody has a pastime that has a productive side to it. For me, that's foraging mushrooms. My friends are growing the fruit trees. If you have a skill set that produces something, and especially if it's producing an excess, I think it's just a great thing to do, and it's a great feeling to pass some of that along to the people around you. So, been finding the puffballs this morning. They were little, which is one of the reasons I kind of like those. I know those are fresh, but these are great big, but they feel firm still. So I want to show you something. I talked about this in the last video, but what I want to see when I cut these open is they need to be pure white, and if they're not, they'll start to take on a greenish tint that'll turn to brown. And these look pretty white. That's the biggest one, and I'll cut them open as I use them. But let's do one more, because there's some right about where the camera's at there on the same tree that's they're way past, like you can push them and they'll make powder. spores everywhere. Yeah, these are still white and these are big, so they'll be easier to use. So I'm gonna gather these. Sharing with friends helps distribute the excess, and it leaves you with a natural, good feeling. Sharing is often also the start of a good friendship, and when friends share abundance with each other, they are fulfilling each other's needs in a way that is not materialistic, but instead mutualistic. So let me tell a quick side story here about how I met the friends that gave me these persimmons. So a few years back, I was driving home from work every evening and I was passing this house with two trees in front of it. And the trees were just covered with some kind of an orange fruit. And I couldn't tell what they were from the road. And this went on for days or maybe weeks. And finally one day I couldn't stand it anymore. So I just pull into the driveway, knock onto the door of the house, and the guy opens the door and looks really annoyed. And he says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I saw the fruit on the trees and I didn't know what it was, and I was wondering if you could tell me what this is." And when I said that, like, his whole expression changed. He took me outside, he showed me the trees, he told me how old they were, and basically we picked a huge bag full of persimmons and he gave it to me, and we've been friends ever since then. Finding a ton of the little puffballs today, which surprises me. I found them last week. Usually they're kind of in and out, but these are coming. Maybe I'm just timing it. Well, I am just timing it just right. That's all mushroom hunting actually is timing it right. But I'm gonna gather them up. It may be excessive, but I may try to cook a big batch of soup to freeze and try to use these. Check this out. See, the tree broke and snapped, but check that out. There's two. They're not enormous, but they're not bad at all, lion's manes. And oh, always look all the way around. Another one. So make sure there's no more. Pretty smaller, but very nice looking lion's manes on the same tree. Now, how do I get them down without messing them up? We shall see. Having fun is still definitely the main reason that I hunt mushrooms, but it's also a useful skill set that I feel like makes me a more productive person, and it definitely opens me up to these one-of-a-kind experiences where I get to share something really unique with friends of mine. And moving forward in life, that's the kind of skill sets that I want to get more and more of. Got them down with the stick, and these are small and they're super light. This means they're dry. Like, this is really the way I like to cook them. But 3 of them. So, mosquitoes are bad. So I'm probably gonna make a long loop around. But these are primo. I'll probably give these to my friend, and the others I'll probably give them all of the lion's mane. But really glad I could find this, because those other lion's manes by themselves to me wasn't so pretty, and I want to give them some nice stuff. Okay, well, I consider that a success. I found enough lion's mane for my friends. I wished I had found them some more, but I'm always wanting a little bit more, I got plenty for them, so this is reasonable, and I've got plenty of stuff for myself. I'm gonna keep the puffballs and the oysters. These are super fresh and super thick and meaty. There's not a lot of them, but this is an elm tree. I wonder if this is an elm oyster. I don't know how to tell them apart, but those are pretty. Very cool. Every time I shoot a mushroom video and I say it's it, folks, I see something else. So I found the oysters, which are nice, but I'm pretty sure way up here I see something big and snow white on the side of a tree. I think that might be my last lion's mane. Maybe oysters, but I think it's the lion's mane. Sure is. If there'll be one on the other side of this. That is really nice. Nothing on this side, but I will sure take this guy. It's real light and dry feeling, and it's at a really good stage. So I think that will do it. I got 100 more yards to the car, and we'll see. But I think this is it. Oh yeah, over the years I've come to believe that being able to meet some of your basic needs by sharing with friends and having these mutualistic relationships and building community is just a happier, healthier, more fulfilling way to live. And yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. If y'all got any experiences that could add to this, put it down in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be good. Bye.